The area they walk through is where all of our female lions were denning. And the grass is like
And it's
up to
tall
your
grass.
head.
Yeah.
Yo, those guys got lucky.
I was like bashing through the bush, going through aardvark burrows, and I hit this hole. Turns out we'd driven like a kilometre following Venus, the star that was setting.
You know those big hats you were talking about
Yeah.
that made of bear skin?
No way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of bears they shot for that then. Yeah. This is wildly off track.
We're back.
Back again, another
We're
episode.
reunited after some time alone.
I heard you you were out of town. You went to London.
Dude, that was a mad experience. You guys have been to London, right?
yeah.
Like for a day.
Dude, I got
Literally just a day,
I got to see it all. I went there knowing that it was going to be super different, but my gosh, it was cool. And it was like the only sunny day of the year. So I was like, this is great. I was having a fantastic time. Saw about 1 million people in one day,
Yeah.
which was an adventure.
What was the best conversation you had?
Yeah, I try and go there with the idea of making friends in London. But you know what? I sat next to some poor guy on the train. And no, he didn't want today.
Did you talk to him?
I tried. I said, morning, sir. And he sat next to me and you could just tell he wasn't interested. So I was like, let me be a cool guy and not be a nuisance. But when I went on the tube was fun. Because, you know, I like walking down the tube as it's going because it's a weird visual, like the visual mind. It's a bit of a, it's a very trippy because it almost seems like it's an endless train. So I like to go to the end to just check
So
how
you were
long.
just walking up and down the tube?
Well, once up and down, yeah, just to check it out. And you never know who you're going to see. And I was just walking around, I was smiling, hello, and walking down. And I got a few hellos back, a couple smiles, but
Really?
I didn't get to have a conversation. But it was mad fun on the tube. Yeah. And weird, it's like almost being on a surfboard, but
I've been in it once, and it was unbelievable when you look outside and the wall is literally must be centimeters away
Yeah.
from the train.
dude.
Some of those stations are crazy as well.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
and you're just constantly going down. It's like just like a rabbit warrens of like tunnels and escalators. It's such a different feeling.
Speaking of tunnels, I saw the most mad tunnel. I was just cruising from the train station to where I needed to go, towards the palace. I should tell you about the palace. That was fun. But I went into a
Buckingham
tunnel.
Palace.
Buckingham Palace, yeah.
Okay.
It was like I had royal vibes when I got into there. That was cool. But anyway,
Expect
I went underneath the train, the railway train station, and I went into a tunnel that was like, it was an artwork. Like the whole ceiling and the walls for 700 meters was all graffiti and urban art. It was so cool. I'll show you the photos. I must.
Yeah.
I was tripping out, and I stayed in the tunnel for like 25 minutes. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to look at the. It was an art exhibition in the
Oh,
tunnel.
there's an art
that
exhibition.
makes
No. Hold on. Sorry. It wasn't an actual exhibition, but it felt like being an
Yeah.
exhibition.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Which was cool. Then I ended up at the palace kind of area, the park around. I was just moseying around, and there was trumpeting and like all this fun musical extravaganza going on, and I was like, and there were loads of people just hanging around. I was like, what the hell is going on here? All of a sudden, palace gates open, and this whole band of guys with cool hats come marching out.
Those long hats.
Yeah, they're called
Yeah,
long
big
hats. I was
fluffy
like,
ones,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what. I would love to know what that's all about. Are they trying to
Yeah.
hide things under the hat
I had
or
a
something?
very different experience at Buckingham Palace. I didn't even know that was the palace.
No.
So it doesn't look at all like what it looks like on TV or on YouTube videos. There was no one standing outside in a red
sorry, dude.
thing with a horse or whatever. You know those guys?
Are you sure you went to the right place?
I think so. Is there
should have been a
big
guy with a
fountain
horse.
in front of the place?
Yeah, with the gold. There's a gold statue.
Yeah, I saw it and I thought, oh, that's it. I wasn't very impressed.
Yeah, but you also
Oh, sorry,
described
dude.
the Eiffel Tower to me once as just a big electricity pile.
It's not an impressive building. It is literally
opinion.
Which is amazing considering you're from Man Ray. You would think like anything that's more than 2 stories tall is impressive, but no,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
standards
but-
are really high.
Eiffel Tower. I was just like, whatever. What is this? People were taking photos. Maybe because I went alone. I was just there shortly. I saw it.
You just felt lonely and sad.
It was just a regular triangle-shaped electric pole. I mean, you literally just go to your local power corporation thing, and you'll see that exact same structure, magnified by 10, and it's the Eiffel Tower. No.
I mean,
Buckingham Palace
fair.
also. I saw no one on a horse. like they do with the things. And
you missed out, dude. You gotta go again. I saw the cops on horses.
nah, it was a bit boring. I wouldn't go.
And I'm telling you got to go back because the cops' horses were insane. They were like 4 times the size of a zebra. I'm not kidding you. Like shoulder heights.
Really? So
like,
it's some different
massive.
type of breed horse that.
Like I wouldn't mess with the cops on the horse like that. I'm more scared of a cop on a horse like that than a cop with a gun. The hoof was like that.
Intimidating,
I'm
yeah.
not kidding you. It was like bigger than like a giraffe hoof. It was no joke.
Was there
dude.
water in the fountain?
Yeah. I wasn't looking at the water at the fountain, to be honest. I was too busy
Why
with
does that matter?
There was no water when I was there.
the dudes with the hats caught my attention though. Like, I thought that was cool. That was fun. And they were just marching along. Some guy dropped his rifle though. It was so embarrassing. You know, there's always some guy who fucks up.
Yeah.
So he's walking there and he
Were they
tries to
flipping it
catch
and
up. He
stuff?
tried to catch up and get the marching rhythm back, and he was fumbling. You can check. I was stressed.
I'm sure he got fired after that.
I mean, maybe, but it can't be that serious. I was reading up afterwards that it's the changing of the guard, which happens, I think, twice a week. So
It's
it's
not
like
Thursdays. I think I've seen
I was there on a Wednesday. I think it was. I can't remember.
I've seen it at Windsor Castle before. Which it's a pretty cool spectacle.
What's Windsor Castle?
Windsor Castle, it's in Windsor, but it's like because what is it? The royals, their last name is Windsor, isn't it? It's like their home castle, whereas Buckingham Palace is like the royal. I don't know the actual specifics of it. I know the Queen used to like living at Windsor.
Ah.
Do you know those big pylon hats you were talking about?
Yeah.
They're made of bear skin.
No way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of bears they shot for that then. Yeah.
It is. Well, I mean, there's only like 12 guys. I mean, one bear is a pretty big bear. You probably get like 3 hats of
Yeah,
a
but
bear.
they must have multiple hats.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think it's
back
just
there.
12 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's say
There's a
25.
few more.
Yeah, okay. Well, the UK.
Great conservation.
The UK obviously used to have bears, but many people don't even know that they used to have lions,
Lions,
here,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
is mad. And that was only like 12,000 years ago.
I actually always, because I
Only
used to be.
12,000 years ago.
What is the fascination with lions here? How it's everywhere. Then you go to a country which has lions, like Botswana. There's no statues
Yeah,
of
where's
lions.
zebras?
There's no- yeah, we don't even have it on our money or anything, on our coat of arms, our emblem. No.
I think I've got a theory. So, like, the English, Imperial England, rulers of the land, you know, like power, and it was all about like expressing power. And lions, obviously, super powerful, top of the food chain, sort of thing. So, maybe that's how it became part of the culture. Like, we didn't want to be little minnows. We wanted to be the biggest, most powerful
Yeah.
group
So,
in the
why
world.
did Botswana choose a zebra as the national animal then?
Because the lion was already chosen by
know-
the UK.
Do you know what Scotland's national animal is?
What would Scotland's... A deer?
No.
What do they have?
Ferret, something?
It's a unicorn.
A unicorn.
No way. What?
Not a Loch Ness monster. Or something. A
It's just as
unicorn.
mysterious as a unicorn.
I'm pretty sure it's a unicorn.
I
or
need to
something
quiz
do
our
with it, yeah.
Scottish friends. Producer Mark's better half is Scottish. We're gonna have to ask her
Yeah.
about the unicorns.
I don't know. I don't. Well, but also, okay. I think this right. Giraffes exist, and we're all like, "Oh, unicorn's mythical creature." Surely a unicorn exists if a giraffe exists. It's just a horse with a small horn on its head.
That's true. I mean, well, if you here
If you
comes
think
the
about how many animals we've seen with horns on them,
yeah, but if you look at the biology of equids of the horse family, their ancestry, looking into like the fossil record and stuff, none have any sign of horns.
yeah.
So
but
it's like
I'm saying-
it would be very strange that one just randomly got horns. Surely we'd find a
but then
fossil
where's
unicorn if it exists.
Where does a unicorn come from then?
Some guy was tripping balls, bro, and just saw a horse and was like, "Oh man."
You don't think there could have been a rhino type, but rhinos are what? Wymphomordia, yeah. Part of
Rhino.
from Wales.
Odd
No?
toed angular. What are you saying? There's rhinos in Wales?
No, that's dragon. That is just dragons.
Wymphomordia?
The hippos.
Oh, that's hippos. Yeah,
Hippos.
sorry.
Were,
Completely
hippos.
mixed, yeah.
Hippos were whales that came back to land.
Yeah.
Basically, which is
Where did
weird.
elephants come from then?
Elephants. Their closest relatives are hyraxes, so dassies, and elephant shrews. Actually, the Afrotherians. It's very unusual. So a little elephant shrew, which is a tsengi now. It's about that big. Its closest living relative is an elephant.
They grew a little bit.
Yeah, it's mad, eh? You must look at the ancestral elephants that we had in Africa like 30 million years ago. They were mental. Like some had tusks that came out of the bottom jaw and went decurved down towards their feet, and nobody really knows what the heck that was all about. But
They were
amazing.
farmers.
Those like big shovels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agriculture just continuously.
The elephant village there. They were the agriculturalists.
The oryx is one of the species that is apparently inspiring the unicorn.
Gemsbok.
Well, there's many different types of oryx.
Arabian scimitar.
Scimitar,
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, you
got
could
two
imagine
horns.
back then when
Also,
there's no
one-
photos, there's no nothing. They see it from a distance, it runs away, and then they think this Arabian oryx is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was in
It's whitish, yeah.
Yeah, they are quite.
I was in Namibia in November, and we saw a male oryx that had a broken off horn. So it did only have one horn. And I mean, obviously, you're making jokes. Oh, look, there's a unicorn. But then you're right. If your sample, like if you're an explorer in Saudi Arabia and you see one of these things,
Yes,
and it
and-
just
and-
happened to have one horn, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
unicorn exists. And people believe that. Can you imagine being an early explorer? You go to a place where no one in your country's ever been, and you come report back, and you're like, I saw this. People are going to believe you.
All right, I think we take a little break there for a minute. I mean, to be fair, we've convinced ourselves that we've seen some things that we didn't believe.
Yeah.
Do you remember-
Oh, man, we've had lots of conspiracy
Yeah,
here.
lots of conspiracies.
When we were having the radio chatter, when in the night, do you remember that, Greg? Where in the night, where we saw those lights projecting
sorry.
through the sky continuously, one after the next, and we had this whole debate on the radio about what it was.
Sleeping out in the bush. And then we were like,
Yeah.
what the heck? There's supernatural stuff happening.
We found out later from Tristan was Starlink satellites, and we were going crazy. Like, what is that?
It's just when the sun as it's setting and rising, it's just clipping on the satellites flying through the air.
Yeah, the light is reflecting off
Yeah,
it.
but the Starlink ones are specifically insane because it's just like this trail. It can be sometimes like 10, 15.
Yeah, there
of
were
them.
like 10 of them that
Yeah.
time, yeah. I mean, and then in Botswana, where there's absolutely zero sky pollution, where just regular stars are so bright. Now to see those satellites, and we were wondering what the hell this is.
Because we don't have Wi-Fi when we're sleeping out.
Yeah,
So
so-
you're just sitting there on your roof going, "Oh, are we under attack? Like, like what is happening in
Literally
the
like
world
missiles.
right now?"
What?
Starlink is quite amazing.
Yeah,
I
we
must
use it all the time now.
ish.
Not an astronomical phenomenon. Yeah.
But we had an ex-colleague, and he fully believed in extraterrestrial life forms.
Yeah,
and stuff.
supernatural
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It was a couple of times where he'd seen. How do you describe it? Glowing balls in the sky that just move zigzag around all the time.
So, Tris, you and I together both are quite like matter of fact, like we need some proof to believe dodgy theories. But what blows my mind about that is when our colleague brought a video that he'd taken on his phone. So he'd been sleeping on the roof of his truck, just dorsing there, and he saw one of these orbs of light, randomly unexplainable, literally ball of light moving around in the sky, and he videoed it with his phone. Now, he showed me this video, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way that this guy would have doctored something just to try and convince me. But legit, there was something unexplainable was cruising around, and it was a ball of light, woo, and I was like...
Oh, not moving haphazard.
No. It was like
Well,
it was just kind of floating around. But
It wasn't like a satellite. Like it would just kind of drop.
It was close to their eyes, and it was quite large
I mean,
as
the
well.
video is hilarious because he's going, "There's the floor. There's the object. There's the floor. There's
trying
the
to prove
object."
to us, yeah.
Like, and you could kind of see because he'd seen it once before and tried to tell us, and we all just called him like, you know,
Yeah, obviously we're not going to believe you.
So he was really shaken up about it. And it was funny. But we had somebody else who was working with us, and he did a load of research on it. And it's supposed to be, it's just a ball of electricity.
Ball lightning, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
ball lightning. And it does. It just moves really weirdly. And they're very rare. But there's been, I think there was an instance in the UK a long time ago where one went down someone's chimney and blew up in their house.
A ball of lightning.
Yeah.
It's like an electrical phenomenon. We'd have to do some more research
It's like
about
plasma
that.
or something. I can't remember
I've
what it
never heard of
specifically
that.
was,
That-
yeah.
But the thing about sleeping out, and you guys all remember this, when we were sleeping out in the dark, you pay attention to all the unusual light that will catch your eye. And we were just like stars galore, the little tiny glow of Mound, like 70-something kilometers away. But anything else would catch our attention. And of course, when we were on our own, you would think like, is there, potentially other people that are not supposed to be around? Because we were kind of like safeguarders as well from poaching and that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
we were quite observant. There were moments where you check a light at a distance and you're like, who the hell's driving around at 2:30 in the morning? Like,
Oh no, I cut
so there was a
myself
few of
once.
those moments. So who knows?
It was the
man.
truck deliveries, delivering food to the lodges.
Oh,
And at first I wondered, why are they driving in the middle of the night? But of course, yeah, when the soil is cooler, it's more compact, easier for them to go through the thick soil.
The worst is when you camp on the same road and he drives past you. And you're
Yeah.
like, dude.
Do you remember the time that one of the truck deliveries broke down a few kilometers away from camp?
Oh.
And then the guys, it was their first time to the bush and they just walked to camp.
Yeah.
And when we told them, guys, there's lions here, I was surprised when they're like, really? Like, what do you think? We're in the middle of the Okavango Delta.
But they'd also,
I just don't know.
I mean, they'd walk. Like, the area they walked through is where all of our female lions were denning, and the grass is like
And it's
up
tall
to your head.
grass. Yeah.
Those guys got lucky.
Yeah.
I don't
Full
know.
circle.
But the thing about a lot of people do walking safaris. But I guess the difference there is you're
It's
walking
planned.
with somebody who knows how to react to a
Yeah.
lion. Whereas
Yeah.
if you don't know how to react to
They're
a
also
lion, and then
normally
you
avoiding
and then
the
you run away.
grass up to your skull that you can't see more than 20 centimeters.
I think I'd be more scared of the buffaloes and the elephants than the lions, though.
It was one of the guides working at one of the camps near us, and I heard a story about him doing a walking safari. And he's just walking with his guests, and just at some point during this, he kind of just stops, has a look around, takes his shoes off, carries them. The guests are like, what did you do this for? But you're not meant to talk, and you've got to be very quiet, and you just follow your guides. The guests don't really question it, because obviously, they're following the guide. Keeps going, gets, another 400 meters away, puts his shoes back on, and they keep going. All the guests are like, why is this guy just taking his shoes off? Like, this is a bit weird. And they get back to the camp, and then someone asks him, and he goes, no, I could smell buffalo dung. So the guests are like, oh, okay. So like, what? You took your shoes off so you weren't like as noisy or something? He's like, no. So if the buffalo appeared, I could climb the tree really quickly. And the guests are like, but you didn't tell us.
the guests.
Didn't even tell the guests. It was just like, this one.
Oh, you get some dodgy guiding out there. Hey?
Yeah.
Anyway, most of the guides, as Ray and I are both guides, so we just want to represent guides in a positive light. Most guides would never do
There's
that.
some incredible guides.
We look after
majority
we look
will-
after our guests.
There's some incredible guides. We know a guide, and they've done like over 100,000 kilometers walking in the bush and
Yeah,
stuff.
amazing,
Like
yeah.
insane numbers.
Great.
And I do believe he's never even had he's had some dodgy scenarios, but like nothing
think he's
really
had
that crazy,
No,
which is incredible.
it's amazing, yeah.
We somehow managed to always get ourselves into stupid scenarios.
I think
We
it's
learned.
also the amount of hours we spend in the field,
Yeah.
the amount of hours we spend with the wildlife, that something's bound to happen.
Yeah. It's hard to have your guard up 24/7 as well. Like,
Yeah.
you obviously kind of relax a little bit too much sometimes.
I found it also that spending so much time with the cats, with all these big cats, instead of being hyper vigilant, start just feeling more relaxed. Like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. They come.
Particularly you.
That's really
You're
that's
probably
really
the
good.
most relaxed around the cats. Oh gosh! When I was a young guy, I believed everything the old timers told me, and we had a guy who we had
When you don't question it, you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yep,
You
good.
believe you're a sponge. You believe everything, and believe whatever you're told. Anyway, one of the older guys told me, listen, if you shine your spotlight at the eyes of the animals, obviously most of them reflect the light back at you, so you can see them. But he said to me that the reflections of the eyes that are red are predators and green herbivores.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to shine too much on the herbivores, but you can, shine on the predators. You're going to go and view them, whatever. It's like, cool, sweet. So going out, this is like my first month of safari, crashing around in Botswana, in the Makgadikgadi, beautiful
Yeah.
place. And I saw this eye reflecting in my spotlight, and it was huge and red. And I was like, "God, predators!" Woo! I was like, we hardly ever saw predators. It was a desert, so I was like, "Flip and win." I'm
Oh,
off.
if you didn't tell your guests, like, I spread
No,
it.
I did. I was like,
Yeah.
guys, check. We had to make good excuse to go off-road. We couldn't go off-roading for nothing. So I was like bashing through the bush, going through aardvark burrows, and I hit this hole, and my spotlight bounced down, but the red eye was still reflecting. And I was like, Anyway, it turns out we'd driven like a kilometer off-road following Venus, the star that was setting. And my guests were like, what the hell? And I was like, sorry, guys.
Day one, great guy.
Yeah,
He's like,
great guy, just off-roading through the bush. I've had a few embarrassing ones. Lots of nighttime misidentifying, like thinking that a jackal's an aardvark. It's a bit like you with your jackal and pangolin. What was that? Remember?
Greg comes on. It's like early in the morning.
On the
and,
morning.
You know, pangolins are very rare. You don't see many of them. And guys, I've found a pangolin. And like, if Oaks say they found a pangolin, everybody else is like at attention. And everyone's just you want to see it. Like, I will drive to come and see a pangolin. Yes, I said, now vibes are high. Yo, no way. Where is it? What's happening? And Ray just comes back. Oh no, sorry, is a jackal.
You know what? When you want to see something really badly, and then you just see the side of it,
Yeah, your brain.
It's just like how when tracking, if you're like, I need to find this lion or this cheetah, sometimes a hyena track starts turning into a lion, or you're like, no, but it's a bit faded here. This could be the cheetah. This could be a cheetah. It could be.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. More for some than others, though.
I've
But yeah,
spent
all of us.
hours looking at hyena tracks. The worst as well is when you start convincing yourself.
Yeah.
And you like get out of the car, you're looking at this thing, and you go like up the tracks, and you're like, no, that's definitely a hyena. But then you go further down, and you're like, no, it's definitely a leopard, And you can do that for like 20 minutes, and then eventually you're just like,
I don't know.
get on the radio. Yeah, no, I might have something, but it's in soft sand. Like, you know, and it just takes all the blame off it. It's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Oh man, the worst one is when you drive across the concession to go and double check that somebody else has seen tracks because you're like, this is really important. Because it makes a huge deal on where we start searching. I mean, especially for cheetahs. If you're looking for one particular cheetah, if you find any track that's a cheetah, you're flipping sweet. So I went missioning, and you remember this. I went missioning like, I mean, it must have been like 3Ks to go and double check some tracks. I was like, oh, okay, this could be a cheetah. Look. Bro. Like, Impala in soft sand. I was like,
sand, yeah.
Guys, anyway, it's half of our job.
I've found it really hard though. Like I've before, after the cheetah crosses the road, and I was like, no, I'm gonna look at what the cheetah track looks like in soft sand. So next time I know this is it in soft sand. You can hardly see it.
Yeah,
it literally just walked over that area, and you still look at it and say, all right, I would have never known.
Yeah.
The one that's bugged me a couple of times is like baby lion footprints. When I'm following leopards, because a little baby lion's foot can look identical to a leopard's. And you're like, yo, I'm in. And you follow, and then suddenly there's now 3 leopard tracks on the road. And you're like, oh, fuck, what was this leopard doing? Like backwards, forwards. And then suddenly you get to another one and you're like, oh shit, there's like 7 of them now. And it's just a pride of lions moving through. And I've spent like 20, 30 minutes following like baby lions before I realised.
Oh no, Ish. It's a problem. You know what I would do in that situation? I used to sometimes do this. Is I would, if you look at the gait, like the distance between the feet, you can almost imagine drawing the animal in the sand with a stick, and then you can just tell how big it is.
Don't tell me about gate tracking, mate.
I know. Okay, I'm just going to make Tristan angry.
We had this one guy that we worked with, and he swore by every other technique than the technique that worked. And gate tracking became his new thing. Yeah. Gate tracking is basically, instead of looking at the paw print and going, that's, you know, a leopard or a lion, or a male leopard or a male lion, you track the distance between the front paw and the rear paw to basically ascertain how big that animal is. And anyways, our ex-colleague swore by this method and how you could also tell if it was pregnant by the...
But he said compression. He said also from how deep it walks into the sand, into the ground. And
so we're following this leopard, and he says, no, I've got female leopard tracks. I'm like, sweet. So I drive over there, I'll have a look at them. I go, no, this is like a young male leopard, but it's definitely a male leopard. No. The gate's saying that this is a female leopard.
Oh man, dude.
And like, because it is just tracks in dirt, it's very easy to convince yourself that you're wrong and whatever. And I was like, no, I'm wrong. I'm 100%. You know what? He might be right. Anyways, follow these tracks. And he's on the radio the whole time to me. I don't know if he was trying to convince himself that he was right or convince me that he was right, but he wouldn't stop talking about the gate of these tracks. And each time I find more tracks, I'm like, I don't know. But I was like, okay, maybe. Anyways, follow. It's a male leopard.
The whole time?
The whole time. But convinced. And I mean, yeah.
But it just shows how our brains work. Like we convince ourselves of anything. And based on very little evidence, you can convince yourself. Like I was watching Traitors, that series that's so popular here in the UK, for the first time ever. And it's amazing how folks get convinced that they know exactly who the traitor is. And they're like 100% like,
well, it's quite easy to know who the traitor is because they tell you on TV.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying the people in the program.
Yeah.
like they're cognitively like 100% like, I know exactly. And then they're wrong. And they're like, back, and they're not thinking like how their brains have just completely gone completely
The
skewed.
difference is they get someone to tell them, "Oh, you're wrong or right." We don't have anyone. It's just us. It's like, I guess I was. Oh, when you find it, like, I guess I was right.
The problem is we're only right like half of the time. So that like the times that we are right, it just reinforces the fact that we think we know what we're doing, and we completely discount the times that we're wrong.
Knowing what you know about the biasness that people can have, do you think you could be a good traitor?
Dude, not at all. Well, you gotta lie. You gotta
You are
lie the
terrible at
whole
lying.
time. Have you watched the program?
Partially, a little bit, yeah. Because
Just like-
everyone's like, "Oh, traitors, final episode or whatever."
It was pretty fun, and some really interesting human, like the way the human mind works, and how you end up like trying to figure out things. And there's no way I'd be a traitor, dude. You gotta lie the whole way through.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Could you be a faithful?
Yeah. But you know what I'll do as a faithful?
What do
as
the
somebody
faithfuls
who's the faithful have to try and find the traitors amongst the group. So there's
Okay.
like 25 people,
Uh-huh,
and then there's like 2 or 3 traitors, and then the faithful. Everyone, they have to try and get rid of the traitors before they murder you. The traitors murder people as they go. So it's a very interesting concept. But I think the key to being a faithful is kind of strategically being dumb. Like, because if the traders think you're really onto them, they're going to vote you out. So you're like, you've actually got to. And I think I'm really good at playing dumb. Like,
So you basically
I probably
have
am.
to-
I've got a very good dumb side in some sense.
You have to play a whole character just for the show. Create an alternative persona just for
You
the
could just
show.
act really. Yeah.
You know who would be an amazing traitor? This guy.
I'd love to be a traitor.
Dude,
man.
you would be
I would get
so good.
definitely figured out pretty quickly though.
You think so?
Yeah, because I just
think-
enjoy it too much.
Yeah, and then cheeky
That little
smile
evil
where-
side of you.
Yeah, the side.
You're quite an intelligent, sly fox kind of guy.
Thank
so
you.
would. I think you would be able to sneak your way through that. I don't
I'd really-
I'd rather be a traitor. I think it would be, than being one of the faithfuls.
and you're very likable, so you could kind of sway the faithfuls to really like you, and then
Go
you'll be
against,
sorted.
keep voting people out.
You would be quite good, but I think the power might get you ahead in some sense.
Yeah, I think it definitely would.
Yeah, when the show's over, I'm like, it's not. We'll continue.
I'd love to do a game show like that. If you could do, okay,
We should apply. Can you imagine if all 3 of us were on traitors?
that'd
No, we're not all of us traitors though.
be, imagine we all go into traitors and we were the 3 traitors.
The 3 traitors.
But you know, very seldom do they put people on that know each other. But every now and then they'll put like a mother and a son, or like
Or
a
friends.
couple. Or,
Wasn't it something like Friends? People were friends.
yeah, so we might be able to do it as a trifecta.
Or celebrity traitors.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
yeah. Well, I haven't watched the Celebrity Traitors. I
Was it any good?
haven't. Have
you watched it?
I haven't watched it.
It was fantastic.
Was it?
I think I preferred it to the normal game because they're not playing for their own personal game, so they're not playing for money in their own pocket.
Oh, that's
They're
so much.
playing for money for charity. So you don't have the desire to stab people in the back.
Nah, man, I want the desire to stab people in the back.
yeah,
Like,
interested
stuff
in
like,
evil.
like we're gonna give the money to charity. Like, it's all in a good name. Nah, I want to see people like wanting it.
Yeah,
like,
the
I want
da-
to see people like willing to kill
The
others.
dark side of humanity.
Hell yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, when they leave the show, like, oh my god, this happened to
Hunger
me.
Games style. Yeah. I want that, man. Mm-hmm.
Traitors in the Delta.
I'd love to
Traitors
play
in the
traitors.
Delta.
I always
Dude,
used to
can you
talk
imagine
about.
Traitors
Random
in
people
camp.
in the bush, like, oh yeah, yo now.
If we did a Traitors Delta version, and each episode they do like tasks, and like you have to go and like cross a river with a makeshift raft, or go and do.
Yeah,
Can you
makeshift
imagine the kind of fun things we could do? I mean, health and safety would be a nightmare, but
Yeah,
it would be
I
fun.
don't think you won't need to eliminate people through the game. They will just get eliminated by the national.
This is like
where's
this is
Tristan?
a very
Crockett
dystopian like
Rockets.
like you never know if 50 years from now it could be a different world. Could do something like that.
What do you reckon the best game show would be to have in the Delta?
I guess a survival sort of vibe would be interesting, but a romance one, you could do like a very interesting kind of.
Romance
one.
Well, like they do. There's so many different dating shows
Island.
nowadays. Like, but
I
a
think
Delta,
Love
a
Island.
Delta sort of like, but also do it with a mixture of like Botswana and I don't know, European or American, and like a cross-cultural one, and then also like add in some like actual bushcraft.
But what will stop these European people from just getting killed?
The Motswanas will save
Oh,
them.
the Motswanas will not stop them. Imagine, I can know exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Motswanas sitting there on like by the fire pit, watching the English just like walk off, going, "Oh my god, there's a butterfly." The Motswanas go, this one's dead.
I mean, you know what? I feel like the same thing. If we're in the bush and I've told someone, guys, that's dangerous, don't do it, and they keep doing it, I'm like, you're on your own now. And I feel like most people will do that, where you can only tell someone do it so many times, and it's like, yeah, whatever, they'll find out.
But you don't think that the human responsibility, in some sense, to protect other humans, just is infinite or not? At some, like, when do you just be like, no, I'm done with you? Like,
Well,
isn't there always
after
a
I
sense?
say something and they keep doing it, then I'm like, whatever, you'll find out.
But you always
Just
want
do
to
it.
try and save a life, though.
We had I went on did a whole camping trip with my brother and some of his friends in December, and I gave them the full spiel. Like, I mean, we're out in Saviti
Like the safety
full
thing.
safety briefing.
I've heard you doing a safety briefing. Yours is not like.
Nah, I did a pretty good safety briefing. Well, I was like, if you're gonna
I don't know
like,
anything about safety.
okay. So, anyways, we got to this in Chobe. I went there with you. You know where that toilet is?
This is Chobe National Park.
Chobe
in
National
Bath.
Park.
You mean just before entering the park?
No, when you're in the park. You remember me and
Yeah.
you were waiting to take a piss, and we knew where that toilet was.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit of a rest stop, but it's quite far in, and it's wild. Like, lions, leopards, everything's just
Unfenced,
walking
yeah.
around. Yeah, completely unfenced. So I stopped the car there with these guys, and my brother goes in to take a piss, and this guy sees some monkeys, and he grabs my camera and he just wanders off to take photos of the monkeys. And now he's just sitting there with the camera, like 150 meters from the car, and I'm watching him. And this guy is
Not paying
oblivious to
attention.
everything. We've already seen lions, we've seen leopards, elephants everywhere. And my cousin was with me, and we just looked at each other and we're like, let's go and stalk this guy. It was the easiest experience of my
Really?
entire life.
Catch him.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, he was so focused on taking photos of these monkeys.
thank
Not a tree near him, just out in the open. We just walk around, walk up, and just like slowly walk up behind him and grab him. Yo, that guy saw death. And he did. And it was like, I told him many, 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 many times, don't walk away from the car. Always be aware of your surroundings. We were stalking for probably 4 or 5 minutes. He had no clue that we were there. And then we took a video of it, and you can see he could, like, his whole persona just goes, yeah, I could have died. Yeah.
Well, it was a good lesson. He obviously didn't take you seriously the first time you told him.
No, he did it. He
Second
did it
time.
about 3 days later. He did exactly the same thing.
Then, so yeah, I guess. then what
I
can you-
find it funny that how when we live there, we know the dangers. It's like, guys, don't do this. Don't walk away unplanned, these crazy distances or whatever. But you get it so often with guests. They arrive and they just think, oh, whatever. Or this guy's not being so serious. Elephants aren't that dangerous. This isn't
I
too
guess they
that
feel
dangerous.
safe, don't they? Like, your job as a guide is to make sure your guests feel as safe as possible. And I think a lot of people sometimes forget that it's, there's...
Wild animals are wild.
Yeah.
But I think the sense of safety comes from a trust that we know how to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And
Do you?
yeah, well, it depends how they act and behave. As long as they listen to you. Some people just don't want to listen, like your friend, who just was like,
No,
oh,
he
okay, I'm
didn't
doing my own
want to
thing. But I think if you show a sense of competence, people will trust you quite quickly. But if you are seen as slightly incompetent and your folks who are with you don't trust you, then those folks are likely to not listen to you or to just do their own thing. Or to feel more afraid. It's a very interesting one, because if they feel like they're very safe, then they might take more risky things. Like, I don't think if I was with somebody that I didn't trust to keep me safe, I probably wouldn't venture too far from the car. But if I was like, I'm with Raya, who I really trust, and Raya thinks it's fine for me to walk, or he's not paying attention or something, and I walk away.
I don't know, man. Ray's got a naughty glint in his eye. I've been with him when he's like, he'll look at you and he's like, I'm like, I know when we're
Put a
pushing the
vesture.
boundaries of what's safe, and Ray's like, closer.
Do you ever get guides who show confidence?
Oh yeah, you do.
And then they lead you into danger.
Yeah, well, there's a huge incentive for guides to give the impression that they're very good and very competent and are all talk, because that's often rewarded if things are always going right. If they're not in a situation where things are actually dangerous. So you can get the really charismatic, for lack of a better term, bullshitters that do very well
Yeah,
for
they do
90% of
very
the
well,
time, but
yeah.
then 10% of the safaris where things actually don't go well, that's when the wheels come off. But they generally do quite well because they're just
That's
able to
overconfidence.
convince people.
Yeah, and
overconfidence.
I found a lot of the bullshitters are such smooth talkers.
Oh, that's it. They're so smooth.
They're such smooth talkers,
Yeah.
but then anyone else who knows better, you're like, this guy's a total idiot.
There's been a couple
They
of
know
times where
nothing.
I've
Yeah,
like
it's
bumped
a lot of
into
that.
like people that are renowned in the industry as being like the best of the best.
Yeah.
And you start talking to them and you're like,
And then you-
this guy knows nothing.
Yeah, they're
like,
just great in marketing.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And they tell a
Smooth.
great story. But some of their stories, I'm like, yeah, but you clearly are the reason that was going wrong from the get-go. Like, come on.
But the same can be said for dating, because there's a lot of men in this world that are actually assholes, but they're just so smooth that they just do so well in the dating game, but they're actually really horrible guys. It's a similar sort of thing, like the
Yeah.
charisma and the smooth talk. They get rewarded for it, but they're actually just dark. I thought that was you for a while, Tristan, but now that I know you, it's not. So it's a similar thing.
But you know what I also found? Because a lot of the time, I know that if I don't know something or if I'm not completely aware, even if I'm with guests, I'll make sure like, hey guys, let me research on this, but I think this is it. And what I've found in the film industry is people always claim everything. Yeah, I know. Oh, this was this. And they actually have no idea at all. People here properly sell themselves heavily beyond their capabilities. Someone can tell you that, oh yeah, I'm a fantastic filmer. I can film this. And then when you see them on CV, on paper, amazing. And then you see them in reality, it's like, no, you can't do any of this. It's very far from it. And maybe it's a competitive market here, but I feel like there's a lot of bullshitters here.
I've found also you get it from a lot of different places. I've struck personally people from Cape Town.
Hating on Cape Town. I did not expect you to start hating on Cape
Nah,
Town.
man, people, there's Oaks that I know that have lived in Cape Town a lot. And I think it's because the market is so competitive there, especially for the creative kind of filming stuff. I mean, we don't have the biggest filming industry in Southern Africa, but Cape Town is probably the biggest, I'd say. Yes, some of those guys talk shit. They will sell themselves. "Oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I can do this. I can do this." And then you're like with them and you're like, no, man, you don't know how to do anything. You just know how to sell yourself like a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the incentives. You know, for a lot of for our profession, for a long time, it was under promise and over deliver was always
Yes,
the thing.
that's always the
But
thing,
now
yeah.
it's in some sense the incentives have switched. Where if you don't over promise in some sense, it's hard to compete with the guys who are bullshitting their way to the top.
Yeah, I mean, what I find the hardest is I don't look at people in the face and lie to them. And it feels like in the film industry, you have to just bullshit your whole way. Oh, I can do this, I do this, I do this. I'm like, yeah, that's what everyone does.
Our
It's,
moral code is just falling. No, we're going to stick to it, right?
Yeah, I stick to it.
I'll stick.
We're going to stick
us
with
three are
our
very good at
what's
that.
right and wrong.
Under promise, over deliver.
But it does feel like you get further if you just bullshit your whole way.
So in the next ep, should we just try and see who's the best bullshitter between the three of us?
I can definitely do some bullshit.
Go proper wildly off track.
Yeah, well, we've done pretty well this time around to stay relatively on track. I mean,
No, we've stayed on track. Ray talked about the Eiffel Tower for a bit.
we need to dig into that.
Yeah.
What about? Have you been to New York?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
All right,
Maybe
let's
that'll
save.
impress you. We're gonna have to save a New York trip for you. Anyway, I
Anyways,
think we should wrap it up, eh?
I think that was wildly off track.
Signing
Cheers.
Ciao.